Good afternoon from lockdown in Suffolk. We're having a little look, I thought, today at my book because it's my birthday on Monday. I'm 107. No, I'm actually so old that I've got, if I want a bit of pension kicking in, but I'm still doing fouettes. I'm older than Fontaine when she stopped. And I'm just going to read you a tiny bit of this from chapter 5, and then I'm going to tell you a Stack story that is probably the reason I most love him and why it's relevant is the question, why was Stacks booked to look after me, first guard, on the HMS Victory to sing for the Queen, and then looking after the CSE tours? Why? It's because his granny was a church organist and the military knew this, so they gave him the artistic jobs to do, like looking after me. And then I'd like you to know chapter 5. Did you hear that ding? That's someone sharing my live video on Facebook. That's good, isn't it? And also there was a bang during my video live on Facebook because I had to knock on the window because there are some of those house birdie things, little tweety things, trying to nest on the roof. I'm not having that. What's the birdie equivalent of King Herod? Where's he when you need him? Chapter 5. Terror woke me from a doze at 4:37. Oh my goodness. I was off to Iraq. The last time I'd been up so early was to prank call Nana Muscuri. So anyway, I'm taking these off now to tell you about this story. Stacks did a fun run and gave some of the money for his grandmother, the church organist. She stopped being a church organist on the day of devotions, apparently. Well, devotions is one hymn every hour on the hour, and she was and the churchyard gate was opposite the Dog and Feathers. I'm pointing, you can't see off screen, and I'm not in Yorkshire anyway. And so she was going over there for the other 55 minutes. And she was so pissed, Stacks himself had to carry her up into the organ loft to play There Is a Green Hill Far Away, and then he left her to it, and she was beer snoring well into the resurrection. Her last friend, though, because she's no longer with us, Granny Millie. I wish I'd met her. Stacks said she and I would have gotten very well. Her last friend is in the local old people's home, and she had a need. So Stacks sent her the money for a transistor radio. He did a fun run from Kabul to Kandahar. And the thank you letter she wrote, generic, I know, is on the wall of, it was Major Stoven Bradford then in Sutar. He's now Colonel Stoven Bradford. And it's very touching. I've learned it. I do this in my show. I've learned this letter and it's very touching. And here it is. Dear 4-2 Commando, and in particular, my beloved Stacks. God bless you for the gift of the transistor radio. I'm 97 and I live at the Larch End Rest Home. My family has long since passed away and I very rarely have visitors. I'd love, yet again, to see your granny, Stacks, but that's not to be. But this has made the gift of your radio most especially welcome because I'm on my own. Well, I'm not exactly. I have a roommate, Maggie Cook, and she's had her own radio for as long as we've shared. But she's always listening to it with an earpiece, or with the volume so low I can't hear it. For some reason, she's never wanted to share it. Last Sunday, she accidentally knocked her little radio off its shelf and it smashed into many pieces, causing her to cry. It was so sad. Knowing I had my new radio, she asked if she could listen to it. I told her to go fuck herself. God bless you for your kindness to an old forgotten lady. Sincerely yours, Edna Johnson.